Okay, so today's topic is called least common multiple. As its name says, you have to find the multiples and then the common multiples, and from those common multiples, look or search for the least one, the smallest one. That's the explanation of least common multiple. From now on, we're going to call it LCM, least common multiple. I'm going to explain you how it works and what is the meaning of it, and then I'm going to teach you a fast way of doing it. Okay, as always. So, for instance, let's say we're told to find the least common multiple of 2 and 3. We're always going to be looking for 2, 3 or more numbers. We can never find the least common multiple of just one number. Why? Because it says common. That means both numbers need to have numbers in common. So one number is not going to have common numbers within itself. That's why we need 2 or more numbers to find the least common multiple. Okay? So in this case, it says least common multiple of number 2 and 3. So what are we going to do? This is the explanation. Remember, we don't want you to use this method, okay? If you need to do it. But please learn to use the second method because this is the one that we're going to use. So in this explanation, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to write number 2 and number 3, and we're going to list all the factors, all the multiples, because we're talking about multiples of these two numbers. So let's start with the multiples of number 2. Remember, the multiples are the result of multiplying this number by other numbers. So we're going to start 2. 2 times 1, 2. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 3, 6. And if you notice, these are the results of the table of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, when am I going to start? Well, as you remember, the multiples are infinite. We can keep going and going and going and going and never stopping. So we're going to stop right here. Okay, and we're going to work on the 3 right now. So we're going to write the multiples of 3. So 3 times 1 is 3. 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I'm just doing this to show you how it works, okay? So, right now, we already have the list of all the multiples, of the first multiples, the first 10 multiples of number 2, and the first 9 multiples of number 3. It doesn't matter if you want to write more, it's okay. If you want to write less, it's okay. What are we going to do now? We already have the multiples. We already have this part. Now we're going to do the second part, common. Which more multiples are there in common within these two numbers? So we're going to start. The 2 is not common, 3 is not common, 4 is not. If you notice, the 6 is a common multiple. So we're going to circle it. Let's see if it has more common multiples. The 8 is not, 9 no, 12. We have a common multiple right here. Can you find another one? Look for it. There's one more common multiple. Did you find it? Yes, right here. 18. And that's it. These are the first common multiples. As you know, multiples are infinite, so they have plenty of more common multiples. But these are the first 3. It doesn't matter if you have 2. It's okay. If you only did it until 12 and you found 2, it's okay. Why? Because now we have the multiples, we have the common multiples, and now we have to find the least common multiple, the smallest common multiple. We have 3 common multiples, 6, 12, and 18. Which one is the smallest one? The 6, right? So we already know the answer. The answer is the least common multiple of 2 and 3. This is how you write the answer, okay? Remember to do this in your assignments. Is 6. That's it. So that's why I told you, it doesn't matter if you do more multiples or not. Even if you find the 6, you could have stopped right here. You didn't have to go on. I just went on because I wanted to show you that it has more common multiples and that we're just going to focus on the first one. This one is the method for you to understand. But we're going to do the method using prime factorization. Why? Because sometimes when the numbers are small like these ones, it's easy to do the list. But if I tell you to do the least common multiple of, I don't know, 128 and 970, maybe you have to do papers of multiples to find the first common multiple. So that's why we're going to teach you this method, which is always going to help you, okay? This method over here is also to find the least common multiple. And as you're going to see, the answer is going to be 6, okay? But it works different. How is it going to work? We're going to work in prime factorization. I hope you remember last class topic about prime factorization. Well, prime factorization is when we divide these numbers into prime numbers. So first of all, we have to have the list of prime numbers. I'm going to write it over here for you to have it clear, okay? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. I know we have more, but usually we're only going to work with these ones. If we need more, we will add them, okay? So, what are we going to do? We're going to do the prime factorization of both numbers at the same time. But listen to this part. We're going to ask ourselves, as always, we're going to start with a 2, and we're going to ask ourselves, are these two numbers divisible by 2? For example, we don't have a 23. Remember, we have a 2 and a 3. That's different. Two different numbers. We're going to ask ourselves, can we divide the 2 in 2? Yes. So this one works. Can we divide the 3 in 2? No. Listen to this part. It doesn't matter if one of the numbers is not divisible. If one of the numbers is divisible, it's going to work. Oído esto porque lo voy a decir una vez en inglés. No importa si ambos números no son divisibles. Con que uno de los dos funcione, lo usamos. No importa que no sean ambos. Si uno de los dos funciona, ya lo usamos. Okay, so the 2 is divisible by 2. That's why we're going to use the 2 over here and put it, sorry for that, and put it over here. Okay? So now we're going to start dividing. How many times does the 2 fit on the 2? One time, right? That's it. We finished this one. Remember, we always finish when we get to a 1. Now what happens to the 3? How many times does the 2 fit in the 3? I know it's 1, but it's not exact. So can we divide 3 and 2 and have an exact answer? No, right? So that's why we're going to keep the 3. Just write it down, okay? That's simple. If it doesn't work, if it's not exact, you just write it down. You don't divide it, okay? Don't worry if you don't understand. We have plenty of exercises to work, okay? So just keep paying attention. So the 2, we divided 2 in 2 and it's 1. The 3, it's not divisible by 2. That's why we wrote it down again. Now, let's keep going. This one we already finished because we already have 1. So we're only going to keep working with this. Is the 3 divisible by 2? We know that the answer is not. So we're going to jump to number 3. Is the 3 divisible by 3? Yes. So we write the 3. This one we already finished, so we don't have to do anything, okay? We're only going to work with this one. What is 3 divided by 3? 1. And as you see, we already finished here too. So that's it. That's how it works. Over here, we have the answer. How? We have to multiply 2 times 3. And as you notice, 2 times 3 is 6. So, as we said, the LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. As you noticed, and as you can see, the answer is the same. Okay, we're going to do more exercises only using the second method for you to understand it, okay? Remember, try to use this one. Please learn it. If you don't understand it yet, don't worry. Guys, and please take notes on your notebook every session, okay? So let's start with this one. It says 4 and 5. Let's find the least common multiple within 4 and 5. So, as always, we write the 4, we write the 5, and only one line. We're going to do the prime factorization of both numbers at the same time. Remember, this is not a 45. That's a 4 and a 5. Two different numbers, okay? And we're going to start with the prime numbers. I'm going to write them over here for you to know the prime numbers and have it clear in your head. Okay, let's do it until there. So let's start with the first one. Is any of these numbers, it doesn't matter if it's just one, any of these numbers divisible by 2? Yes, the 4, right? So we're going to do the 2. Even if the 5 is not divisible, we're going to do the 2 because the 4 is divisible. So now let's start the division. What is 4 divided into 2? Or how many times does the 2 fit in the 4? 2 times, right? Because 2 times 2 is 4. That's it, exact. Can we divide 5 in 2 and have an exact answer? No, right? So we're going to keep the 5 the same way. Just bring it down. That's it. You don't need to divide it. Remember, if the answer is not exact, you do not divide it. Let's keep doing this exercise. We don't have ones yet, so that means we haven't finished with any of them. So we have to keep dividing both. We have the 2 and a 5. Is any of these numbers divisible by 2? Yes, the 2. That's why I'm going to write the 2 again. How many times does the 2 fit in the 2? 1. We already finished this line. And how many times does the 2 fit in the 5? It's not divisible, not possible, so we bring the 5 down again. Now, let's see. We have a 5. We already finished this one. Remember, we don't have to do anything else with this one. Let's keep going with the 5. Is the 5 divisible by 2? No. So we jump to the 3. Is the 5 divisible by 3? No. So we jump to the 5. Is the 5 divisible by 5? Yes, it is. And 5 divided 5 is 1, and we finish. The answer, remember, is right here. We don't care about the left part of the line, only about the right part. So we have to multiply, as always, 2 times 2 times 5. Remember, my advice, it's not mandatory, but my advice is go from the bottom to the top. Okay, so I'm going to write it over here. LCM of 4 and 5 is equal to. So, from the bottom to the top, or from right to left, 5 times 2 is 10, times 2 is 20. So the answer is 20. If you want to do the list of the factors of 4 and 5, you're going to notice that the answer is going to be 20. That one was an easy one. Let's see the next one. We have 10 and 40. If you already understand, try to pause the video right now, do it by yourself and look the answer and see if it's okay, okay? So, as always, prime numbers, we have them right here at the left. Okay, so any of these numbers is divisible by 2? Yes, actually both, right? Because both are even numbers. Once again, we're talking about divisibility rules. If you don't understand the previous sessions, you're not going to be able to do these ones. Okay, so 2. What is 10 divided by 2? The answer is 5. 40 divided by 2, the answer is 20. If you want to do it, if you're not sure and you want to do the division, 2 in 4 is 2 times, and 2 in 0 is 0 times, so 20. Now we have 5 and 20. Is any of those numbers divisible by 2? Yes, it is. So, 5 divided into 2, not possible, that's why we're going to bring the 5 down, and 20 divided into 2 is 10. Once again, 5 and 10. Is any of these numbers divisible by 2? Yes. So we write it over here. 5 divided into 2, not possible. We bring the 5 again. It doesn't matter if we have to bring it 100 times again and down. We have to do it, okay? Remember, if it's not divisible, you just write it down. And 10 divided into 2 is 5. Now we have 2 5s. Let's see. Is any of these numbers divisible by 2? No. By 3? No. By 5? Yes, both, right? So, 5 divided by 5 is 1, 5 divided by 5 is 1, and we finish both. As always, we have the answer over here, and we're going to write it right here. LCM of 10 and 40 is equal to, let's do it from the bottom to the top, it's easier. So we have 5 times 2, 10, times 2, 20, times 2, 40. So the least common multiple is 40. That's it. Easy, right? Let's see another exercise. 6 and 8. So we're going to write both exercises over here. Sorry, both numbers over here. And that's it. I'm going to do this for you to be able to see the prime numbers. Right now, you kind of need to learn this, at least these 5 prime numbers by heart, okay? So if you don't, it's already time for you to do it. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Okay, so is any of these numbers divisible by 2? Yes. And we start dividing. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. Both are exact, both were divisible, it's okay. Is any of these numbers 3 and 4 divisible by 2? Yes. 3 divided 2, not possible, so we bring the 3 down. 4 divided 2 is 2. That's it. Easy. Any of these numbers divisible by 2? Yes. So we write the 2 again. The 3 we already said is not possible. And the 2 divided by 2 is 1. We finished this one. Sorry, this one. So we're only going to work with this one. Is 3 divisible by 2? No. So we jump to the next one. Is 3 divisible by 3? Yes. And it's 1. And we finished. Okay. Now, let's write it down. LCM of 6 and 8, it's equal to, and let's do it, remember we have it over here at the right, and let's do it from the bottom to the top. 3 times 2, 6, times 2, 12, times 2, 28. Sorry, 24. 12 times 2 is 24. Perfect. So if you do the list of the factors of the 6 and the 8, you're going to see that the first common one they have is 24. I already said you can do the list, but it's only going to work if the numbers are small, like the ones that I'm showing you. But if we do it with big numbers, you're going to take forever and you're never going to be able to find the least common multiple. So try to learn this method. If you don't understand yet, don't worry, we have 3 exercises more to practice, okay? So, 8 and 12. So we write both numbers and only one line. Now, let's start dividing. The prime numbers are right here at the top. So let's start. 2 and 12. Any of these numbers divisible by 2? Yes, 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 12 divided by 2, 6. Any of these numbers divisible by 2? Yes. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Any of these numbers divisible by 2? Yes. It doesn't matter if the 3 is not divisible, but we have one of the numbers divisible by 2, so we're going to use the 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. We already finished this one. 3 divided by 3, not possible, so we bring the 3 down. Is the 3 divisible by 2? No, we already said that. So we jump to the next prime number, which is 3. 3 divided by 3? Yes. And the answer of 3 divided by 3 is 1. We already finished here, so we have the answer right here. And the LCM of 8 and 12, remember to use your answers or to write your answers like this. Is, if you notice, this is funny, the answer is the same like this, as the previous one. 2, 2, 2 and 3, 2, 2, 2, 2 and 3. So we have that the least common multiple is 24. The LCM is 24. Easy. Now, what happens if we have 3 numbers? 2, 3 and 9, 4, 5 and 8. Same process, okay? So I'm just going to do it to show you that it works the same way. So let's try to do it. We have the 2, the 3, and the 9. 3 numbers and just one line. And we start. Any of those 3 numbers divisible by 2? Yes. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 3 divided by 2 is not possible. Sorry, this one we already finished. 3 divided by 2 is not possible, so we bring the 3 down. 9 divided by 2 is not possible, so we bring the 9 down. As you see, you can do the same process with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. It's the same process, okay? So let's continue. 3 and 9. Is any of these numbers divisible by 2? No, so we jump to the next prime number, which is 3. Any of these numbers divisible by 3? Yes. 3 divided by 3 is 1. We already finished this one. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Is 3 divisible by 3? Yes. So we write the 3 over here. 1 down. And that's it. We finished. The answer over here. So we write down the answer, which is LCM of 2, 3, and 9 is equal to 3 times 3 is 9, times 2 is 18. So if you do the list of each one of these numbers, you're going to figure out that the first common multiple within the 3 of them is going to be 18. Let's do the next one. Okay. 4, 5, 8. Same process, just one line. Okay. We're going to start. Can we start with a 2? Yes. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 5 divided by 2 is not possible, so we bring it down. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Can we keep going with the 2? Yes. 2 divided by 2 is 1. We finished here. 5 divided by 2, not possible. We bring it down. 4 divided by 2, 2. That's it. Can we keep going? Yes. 5 divided by 2, not possible. We bring the 5 down. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And we finish this one. We're only missing the 1 in the middle. And we know that 5 is only divisible by 5 because it's a prime number. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. And we're finished. Here we have the answer. The LCM between 4, 5, and 8 is going to be 5 times 2, 10, times 2, 20, times 2, 40. Perfect. Now, last two exercises. Same, 3 numbers. So we're going to do over here 2, 14, and 32. And the line. Perfect. So, can we start with the 2? Yes. Actually, in this one, all the numbers are divisible by 2. 2 in 2 is 1. 14 divided 2 is 7. And 32 divided 2 is 16. Remember, if you're not sure, you can do the division as I taught you last video. 2 in 3 fits 1 time. We have 1 left. 2 in 12 is 6. Okay? If you know the answer, you can write it. 32 divided 2 is 16. If you don't know it, you can find it out using the easy division method. Now, in the one we already finished, 7 and 16. Any of these numbers divisible by 2? Yes. 7 divided by 2 is not possible. We bring the 7 down. 16 divided 2 is 8. We have 7 and 8. We can keep going with the 2. 7 divided by 2 is not possible. We bring the 7 down. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Once again, we have the 2. 7 divided 2 is not possible. 4 divided 2 is 2. 2 again. 7 is not possible. 2 divided 2 is 1. We finish this one. And the 7 is a prime number, so we know we can only divide it in 7. That's it. Over here we have the answer. Trust me, do it from the bottom to the top. It's really, really more easy. Okay? Well, easier. LCM of 2, 14, and 32. So let's do it. 7 times 2 is 14, times 2 is 28, times 2 is 56, 56 times 2 is 112, times 2, 224. Let me check if I did it okay, because I just did it mentally. I think it's okay, but I'm not 100% sure. 7 times 2 is 12, times 2 is 28, times 2 is 56, times 2 is 112, times 2 is, 224. Perfect. Okay, last exercise for you to understand, or to practice. If you want to pause the video and do it by yourself and then go to the answer, it's okay. Okay, this one is a little bit easier. We start with the 2 because they're all divisible by 2. 4 into 2 is 2 times. 6 into 2 is 3 times. 8 divided 2 is 4. So once again we can use the 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 3 divided by 2 is not possible, so we bring the 3 down. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and that's it. We already finished this one. We have these 2 missing. Okay, 3 and 2. Any of those divisible by 2? Yes. The 3 is not possible. The 2 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. We finish with this one, and we have the 3, which we know is only divisible by 3, and 1. That's it. We finish. Once again, this one is a funny one. Once again, we have 3 2s and 1 3. Oh, sorry, I wrote it wrong. LCM 4, 6, and 8 is going to be 3 times 2, 6, 12, 24. Remember, we do not add, we multiply. 3 times 2 times 2 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24, and we finish. I hope you understood, and if you do, go and watch the second video, which is about a greatest common factor, and it's really, really similar to this one. Bye bye.